Welcome back to another episode of My Doctor Doesn't Listen to Me. My name's Andy McDermott. I want to thank everybody again for subscribing, for tuning in, for liking, for sharing all of the love. It's really taken off much more than I ever thought so. And hopefully this is just another episode that keeps the energy alive and keeps the dialogue open between patients and physicians. Today's episode is called Get It Up. This particular story actually is about some patients that I've seen, and it's really more to enforce listening to patients, not necessarily through what they say, but through body language as well, which is sometimes every bit as valuable as the spoken word. I had a couple come in for an annual physical exam. They were probably in their 70s, and a lot of these couples will come in together and both be seen at the same time. And at their age, there wasn't a whole bunch of screening things that we had to review. At that point in their lives, really what we're focusing on is quality of life. So as we're going through our discussion and we're saying, what do you like to do for fun? The husband says, oh, I work out in the garage. And the wife says, oh, I like to do some work around the house as well. And my next question is, how are you guys doing? Are you still enjoying each other? There was a very interesting pause. The husband didn't really say much of anything. And the wife kind of turned herself to the side and rolled her eyes to imply that that no longer exists. And I said, tell me more, guys. There's obviously some friction in the room. Tell me what's going on. And the husband says, we haven't really done anything like that for the past 10 years. Heck, I'm 70 some years old. I can't do that anymore. And my comment was, well, why not? And he says, well, it just doesn't quite do what it used to do. And the wife looks at me and she kind of says, and my next comment or question was, well, is that something that you enjoy and want to be a part of your life? And the husband says, well, I can do whatever. And the wife looks at me and says, this is obviously a difficult discussion to have, I think, in the primary care setting, but a necessary one. It's very primitive conversation. Most of my folks will tell me, especially when they get into their 60s, their 70s, their 80s, there's really only three things that they want to see happen. And that's being able to pee on their own, being able to poop on their own, and being able to enjoy sexual encounters. And if we're really trying to prioritize quality of life, this is part of it. So getting back to this 75-year-old couple who had been married for 50 plus years, and the last 5 to 10 years of their relationship really had not included intimacy. For me, this was a perfect opportunity to intervene and really something that I think makes a difference for what I do for my patients. The solution was pretty simple from the medicine side of the house. I prescribed some Viagra, and sure enough, I asked them to follow up with me in the next month or two just to see how they're doing. Interestingly, as they walked into the waiting room, I saw them holding hands, which I didn't see the first time they had visited me about a month ago. And when they were in the exam room, they were kind of nudging each other. And I kid you not, they looked like they were newlyweds all over again in their 20s. And it was just a really rewarding experience for me to see. And as I asked them a little bit, hey, how are things going? The husband this time kind of smiled and went like this. And the wife kind of looked at me and she goes, and again, it's quality of life. And this time I figured it out, not so much by asking questions initially, but being able to listen to the body language. So as we talk about My Doctor Doesn't Listen to Me and the tools that we can use as patients, the tools we can use as physicians so we can better communicate, one of them is being able to listen to body language and respecting the value of that as much as the spoken word. So I ask everyone, patients, physicians alike, listen. Just listen, and you might be surprised what you find. Thank you all again for tuning in to another episode. Again, my name's Andy McDermott for My Doctor Doesn't Listen to Me. Please subscribe, share, thumbs up, whatever you need to do. I absolutely love the comments that are coming through, and we're getting some absolutely great discussion coming through. So thank you all again, and until next time.